Now, there is some boxwork in some of the other Black Hills caves. Jewel Cave has some near the town of Custer, some of the other privately owned caves in the region, but we have the most. And then the next closest place to find boxwork, you'd have to travel over to the Czech Republic in Europe to find it. So, what you guys are going to see today, not very many people do see when they come on tour. So we're going to take a look at that. The other cool thing about Wing Cave is that we haven't found the end of this cave yet. We're still actively searching and exploring and finding more and more cave passages. Now, this young lady here, she said that she had been in Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. And Mammoth Cave holds the distinction of being the longest cave system in the world. They have over 300 miles of passageways that have been mapped and surveyed at Mammoth Cave located in Kentucky. The second longest cave in the United States is found here in the Black Hills, and that is Jewel Cave, which is located near Custer. They have currently 127 miles of cave passage, but they haven't found the end of their cave either. And Wing Cave, we rank number 4 in the U.S. in terms of length. The fourth longest cave in the U.S. is a cave down in New Mexico. I can't even begin to pronounce it. Lecha or something like that. They're number 4 in cave length. In cave length in the U.S. In terms of the world scope, Wing Cave is the 6th longest cave in the world. Currently, we are at 104 miles of cave passageways that have been mapped and surveyed, and we're still finding more and more of these passages. Now, to give you an idea about how much cave that we find every year, we reached our 100-mile mark last October, and from October until August, we found another 4 miles of cave passage. All right? So our exploration is ongoing. We keep doing it. Every so many months, we get people going, poke around down there, and find more cave. Now, we're going to be seeing a very, very small portion of Wing Cave. We're only going to see about a half mile out of that 104 miles of passageways that's down there. And when I say we have 104 miles of passages, that's kind of confusing for most people because that 104 miles is not stretched out over 104 miles of surface area. Instead, it is packed and compressed into about 1 square mile of surface area. So in other words, all of the cave is located directly underneath the parking lot, the visitor center, kind of back out onto the hill behind us over there, and underneath where we're standing right now. A good way to visualize the passageways in Wing Cave is to think of a common household sponge. Okay? You've got a cleaning sponge. You kids know about SpongeBob SquarePants, right? Okay. You know, SpongeBob has all those holes in it. All right. Well, the passageways in Wing Cave are laid out like the holes in a sponge arm. Okay. They interconnect all over the place, vertically, horizontally, diagonally, all throughout the bed of limestone rock that the cave is formed in. It's what geologists call a maze cave system. So when you look at this map, it just looks like a bunch of squiggles, but really this map just identifies all of the different passages. Now you notice there's 3 different colors on the map, and that represents the 3 different levels or layers of the cave itself. The deepest portions of Wing Cave are identified by the dark brown areas that you see on the map. And the middle section or middle zone of the cave is identified by the cream or beige colors. And then the gray chambers and rooms that you see on here represent the rooms that are closest to the surface, to the top. All right. Today on our trip, we're going to spend most of our time in the middle section and the upper section of Wing Cave. Now, we're not going to go down to the deepest portions of the cave. If you look here on the map, everybody see this blue? Okay. What the blue is, those are underground lakes that are underneath the ground. This is the natural water table. And it's currently located, the water table is about 500 feet below the surface. Now, a water table, for those of you who've never heard that term, if you were to drill or build a house here in this region and you needed to drill a well, you'd have to drill down 500 feet to hit water. Okay, that's what the water table is. But this water table, these are large underground lakes. They're about the size of a football field that's underneath the ground. So they're quite large, all right? And this is the deepest portion of the cave, 500 feet below the surface. Today, we're going to be going down about 379 feet, okay, at our deepest point. Any questions so far? It's only about the size of my hat brim, okay, really tiny little hole. And the story goes that the cowboy, he kind of leaned over, his name was Tom Bingham. He leaned over, and as he looked into the hole, the winds were blowing so strong out of it, it actually blew his cowboy hat off of his head. A couple days later, he thought he'd brag about this hole in the ground he found, brought some friends back, but instead of the winds blowing out of the hole, the winds were actually sucking into the cave. And this is a natural phenomenon that happens at the natural entrance. We're not going to see the natural opening on this tour, but after the tour, you're welcome to come back and go see the original opening that was discovered in Now, what causes the winds is due to a change in the barometric pressure outside of the cave. The cave actually is a wonderful barometer. It tells us when we're going to have a thunderstorm and all kinds of stuff, much better than the guys in Rapid City do. Okay? But what happens is when the air pressure changes outside of the cave tries to compensate and equalize the two air pressure systems inside and outside. So if you have a low air pressure system moving into the region, the winds will blow out of the cave. And when you have a high air pressure system coming in, the winds will suck into the cave. We call this cave breathing. It's just a natural exchange of the oxygen and airflow patterns. Sometimes you won't feel any winds blowing at all, and that just means the air pressure inside and outside are equal. And earlier today, it was blowing out. So that means we might have an evening, afternoon thunderstorm. Questions? All right, well, let's head on in. I'll collect your tickets as we go into the cave.